Hi, I'm Helga from Helga's Pennsylvania Cooking, and it is Spamtember, which is fantastic. Listen, I'm not one of those snooty, uptight people that didn't like Spam. I like Spam. I usually get the low sodium version, but I like Spam. And Spam has upped their game over the years by including all kinds of flavors, including bacon Spam. Now I know Shovelhead 8 did bacon Spam, but I'm going to do mine a little bit differently. It's Cast Iron Wednesday, celebrating Spamtember. So I'm going to do basically what would be like a scalloped potato ham casserole, only I'm using bacon Spam instead of ham for my ham and the scalloped potatoes. So let's get to it. And remember, Cast Iron Wednesday was started by Native Tearz and Shovelhead 8. There's a whole playlist of Cast Iron Wednesday videos. Check them out. Well, let's get to it. So for our scalloped potatoes with Spam, well, obviously you need potatoes and sharp shredded cheese and milk and Spam and salt and pepper and butter and thyme, a little chicken stock and some diced onion and flour. So first thing we're going to do is make a roux. I lied. The first thing we're going to do is saute the onions in the butter. Then we'll make the roux. I was getting ahead of myself. Add in my onions and saute them a little bit. The onions are translucent, so I'm going to add in the flour to make our roux. Ooh, that's beautiful. And the thyme. And then the chicken stock. And then the milk. And I'm just going to stir that over medium heat until it thickens. Now I've preheated my big skillet in the oven at 350 degrees. And I'm just going to do that before we start laying our goodies in. It's our first layer. I'm going to take up some of our Spam. You kind of want to do this in like thirds, 3 layers. And you can add salt if you want to. However, Spam is salty enough as far as I'm concerned that you're going to have enough. So I actually am not going to add any additional salt to this recipe, but if you like lots of salt, have at it. Add some pepper. So my roux sauce, my white sauce, is thickened up, as you can see, and we're ready to add that to our layers for our scalloped potatoes. And I'm just going to ladle a portion of this in, like this. And sprinkle a little cheese for this layer. Then we'll throw in our next layer of potatoes. Some people just pour it right in over the whole top, But I like doing this way because you make sure you have even amounts in the liquid to cook, making sure it all comes out tender, and it also absorbs up the starch from the potatoes. And layering this might seem silly, but it also helps make sure stuff cooks more evenly. Let's do it this way. I see some holes. There we go. So, more Spam. A bit more pepper. More sauce. And the last layer of potatoes. Oops, I almost forgot. I sprinkle of cheese, because cheese makes everything better. It calls for 3 pounds of potatoes, but honestly, I mean, I know my skillet size, and I pretty much just do up enough to fill up my 11-cup food processor here, and that's about right. And you can put these little pieces towards the outside. One more pepper. And for this layer, because it's the top layer that shows, I'm going to put the rest of our sauce on next. Then I'll throw on the rest of our cheese. Like this. And the rest of our Spam. It'll crisp up like little bacon bits. And that's half the fun of this. And there you go, in the oven at 350 for at least 45 minutes till she gets bubbly and the potatoes test tender with a knife. You know what comes next. So here it is. Look how yummy that looks. Try and get, there we go. And you can see this crisped up on top, cheese. It's still hot. Oh man, is that good. That does as a substitute just fine. Perfect comfort food for these fall days. Try the bacon Spam. It's good. Works great in the scalloped potato as a substitute for ham. So there you go. There's a good evening dish here with these fall days. And remember, it's Cast Iron Wednesday. Check out all the other cast iron videos in the Cast Iron Wednesday playlist. And thanks to Shovelhead 8 and Native Tearz for getting it started. So, get to eating. It's fall.